Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, an amazing Spider-Man issue #1. Yeah, look at that double page spread with the glare all over. Wow. Anyway, so this was a really, really smart comic book. This was good. So we're going to start off with Spidey and MJ. And this is like exactly what everybody would want. You're expecting this is what everybody wants. But you realize that Spidey is in his back in black costume. He's got the black suit Spider-Man costume on. It's a beautiful scene. It's like, you know, straight out of Titanic. Rose, open your eyes. Oh, Jack, I'm flying. Oh, just enough with that. But I loved this. This was actually really good. It was beautiful, and it wasn't Titanic. So this is good. And like realistically, this is what everybody for the most part wants, right? Everybody wants Spidey to get back with MJ. All right. I'm going to say something here. There are a lot of really immature little, I don't know, what's a polite way of saying losers? Oh, well, since I already said that, losers who, you know, they went and decided to troll and chase away a bunch of people off the internet, and Nick Spencer was one of them. And this guy, Nick Spencer, who wrote all these amazing stories, all right? These amazing comic books and tie-ins and stories and these really high concept comic books that for the most part made everybody go, holy crap, this is amazing. But then he goes and does one little thing that people don't like. And then some moron on the internet says, you know, oh, well, he's dumb because he did this and he's trying to give us social issues. Shut up. It's called writing a comic book in the modern day. My God, these are people who have not read comic books in the past. And yeah, take me to task. Bring it. The idea is that I feel like all the nonsense that he's had to hear on the internet that made him just kind of say wink and turn it all off, I feel like he's still been kind of spying on everybody. What is everybody saying? What's everybody saying about Spider-Man? So he's got like an alternate identity out there. Hey, you know, Nick Spencer's got the Spider-Man persona. Well, then over here he's got his Peter Parker persona, and he's doing a little recon. So good recon, because he's really learning what most people are complaining about. And unfortunately, the complaints are always going to be the loudest, the squeaky wheel, you know what I'm saying? They need the lubrication, so give them all the lubrication they need. But he's hearing the squeaky wheels, but he's also hearing the intelligent people who are speaking, you know, intelligently. And they're saying that we'd like to see this, and, you know, we didn't really like that. And he's taking it all, and he's molding the Spider-Man, not just the Spider-Man, but the Spider-Man story that we all kind of want to read. Now, don't forget that the Free Comic Book Day of Spider-Man and Captain America came out in the one comic book. The half of it was Spider-Man, and all of that happened. In fact, this almost takes place immediately after that. It's a very short part in there, just to give you an idea, and they touch on it very briefly. There's a slightest little recap, like literally, it's about a panel. No, it's exactly one panel. One lousy panel is how long this recap story is. And they tell you, yeah, this stuff did happen, and that's where we're at right now. If you didn't read it, not going to hurt you. At the same time, it's a Free Comic Book Day. You can find it online for free. So that happened. Boomerang is indeed he and Robbie Robinson's roommate. But what's more is that thing with the Kingpin, where he gets something from Boomerang, and Spider-Man's like, uh-oh, what did he get from the Kingpin? I better investigate this. Well, it turns out he got something to the effect of the key to the city. Not for Kingpin, but rather for Spider-Man. So I want you to think about this. Mayor Fisk of New York City has given the key to the city, well, at least tries to give the key to the city, to Spider-Man. Now, Spidey's not buying it. He's like, you're evil, and everybody knows you're evil. And I know you're evil, and I got a spider sense, and even though it's not buzzing, I know you're evil. So no. And he leaves. Well, the trick is, it doesn't matter, because it was all recorded, and a whole bunch of people seeing this, including Daredevil, who's dealing with a lot of crap right now over in the, in the Daredevil comics. But either way, most of the heroes who are out here fighting this, this alien invasion, it looks like, they're like, well, we really could use some help. And all of a sudden, here comes Spider-Man. It's like, oh, yeah, sure. You can help. Just don't talk to us because we don't really like you too much. And can you blame them? So this comic book is done really intelligently. Now, when you find out what the alien invasion actually was, I laughed. First off, this was hysterical. I laughed my butt off. But on top of that, there's the Johnny Storm, and like he's really got the Johnny Storm and Peter Parker friendship thing down to a T. They're doing the whole Luke Skywalker in the cantina in the first Star Wars movie. He doesn't like you. Okay, I don't like you either. You should watch it back. Like, it was just really funny. But these guys are being overwhelmed by these aliens. Now, mind you, the story is jumping around back and forth. It's jumping to a bunch of different scenes. So you're not going to get comfortable reading one part of it. So while there's all that adrenaline going on with this alien invasion, we're also over into another story about Peter Parker's being outed for fraudulating. Is that a word? I don't know if that's a word. It sounds like it should be, but for fraud in a paper, he lied on his papers. You know what I'm saying? Now we, as the readers, know that wasn't actually the case. What he did was Otto Octavius simply rehashed some of his old stuff when he got his degree. And if we remember, Dan Slott did the same thing. Otto Octavius, as Spider-Man, as Peter Parker at least, got in trouble for fraudulence on his page, and he had to go and talk to his old professor and like, hey man, you know, I know you're saying that I copied, but guess what? I actually am Otto Octavius, and just like he did all that crazy stuff. So he already dealt with that, but now Peter Parker's got to deal with this in multiple ways, and it's coming back to bite him. And there's a sense of responsibility here. Oh my God, Peter Parker having to deal with responsibility and great power? No way. So he's got to kind of face the music that, you know, I've benefited from all of this stuff, all of this, you know, like I created a company based on this degree, and I didn't really need this degree, did I? I didn't earn this degree. Otto earned the degree for his own nefarious reasons or positive reasons. Either way, I myself didn't actually earn this degree, and I could have said something, but I didn't. I let it go, and I never gave people the choice, the opportunity to decide for themselves. This is a very smart comic book. This is a very intelligent comic book. It doesn't call any of us stupid. It doesn't give us or present anything to us to just, you know, oh, okay, I guess I better eat this and then move on. No, 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 no. There's no red or blue pills here. Everybody's getting an experience where you either, if you've read the stuff before, cool. If not, you're going to be indoctrinated in it really quickly and then move on. Because here's the story. So by them jumping to all these different scenes, multiple, you know, different takes. Okay, now we're over here. Now we're over here. Now we're going to be over here. The scenes that are high octane are instantly cooled by the scenes that are, you know, minimal octane. And you've got all these different stories weaving together, and it feels like the Star Wars, I'm going back to Star Wars again, it feels like the Star Wars movies, where you'll have three different scenes going. You'll have Han on Endor, you know, in Return of the Jedi, and you'll have Luke is up in the Death Star with Palpatine, and you'll have Lando and all these guys in the Millennium Falcon going against the Star Destroyers. We'll last longer than we will against that Death Star. You got these three scenes going on at the same time, and it's a perfect blend of action, you know, not as much action. Okay, chill. Okay, back to the action. So you never get bored reading anything. All of this stuff works out beautifully, and you can feel like this is a double-sized issue. This is a heavy double-sized issue, man. Forget about it. You know what I'm saying? And the price is right, dude. It's only $6 US. That's really good. That's really good. But more than that, there's a scene in the back where it's not even Spider-Man anymore, it's Mysterio. And you'll understand why they're talking about Mysterio. And Mysterio is in this court case. And it's funny how this happens. But more than that, we never really got an explanation how Mysterio came back from the dead, right? Because he died. Quentin Beck died, dude. But they just came back. Oh, I thought you were dead. Well, I'm clearly not anymore, right? So we never got that. Well, here we're threatened with getting an actual explanation of what's going on. So loose ends being tied up. What? Did we ask for this? I guess I didn't know that I needed this because this is awesome. So there's actually a demon there who's giving him information and telling him, listen, man, I tried to help you, but you know, you're running out of chances right now. You're going to need to do something. So is he actually crazy, or is this stuff really happening? So the Beetle is there, and by that I mean Tombstone's daughter. She's there as his lawyer. Okay, cool, digging this. And they're trying to get him out of this predicament that he found himself in. He's trying to plead crazy, trying to plead insanity. And in the end, a certain professor at ESU, Empire State University, oh, and it's funny, they got the brand new day program. I love how that was just kind of slipped in. It's like a great little inside joke. The dean, I forget who she is, but whoever this lady is, who called Peter Parker out for forging at least one of his papers, but multiple of his papers. Maybe it's his thesis. There was another professor who said, "Hey man, listen, I'm teaching these students, and I want Peter Parker to have another chance. Give him his books and have him take my classes, and then we're gonna try and make everything right for this guy because he's actually a good student." So this professor's going to give him a chance. Now, I initially thought it was going to be one character. I'm like, it's got to be this one guy. It's got to be, right? And it turns out it was not. And I was pleasantly surprised at seeing who it actually was. This was really good. All I'm going to say is the character is indeed on here somewhere. And I was very surprised, but pleasantly surprised amongst that to see who the character actually was. This is a really good book. This is a very intelligent book. And this is presenting a Spider-Man that I feel should be able to placate everyone. Granted, there are some people who have a maturity level of a fish stick and the IQ of tartar sauce, and they're never going to be placated because it doesn't suit their purposes to be placated. But those people aside, we're just going to call them the fringe element. Us true fans who just want to read a comic book and we don't care about all the hate, and we can either say, oh, I really like this comic book, or yeah, this comic book wasn't really for me. Maturity, strange thing. I don't think that there's any of us who will dislike this comic book. This is written very well. The art on this is fantastic. It looks like it was edited well. I can't find a single flaw in this comic book, not a single one. Even the price. This was great. I had zero doubt that Spenser was going to be able to write a good book, and yet even then I was still impressed. And that's just the way it is. Guys, I'm going to let this one go. Make sure you grab this comic book. There are plenty of variants out for it, so there's no way that you can't get this story if you're looking to get this story. That's it for me, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.